In this video, I'll be showcasing 10 more of your guys' exotic concepts. If you guys happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, first we have the Lawless Breacher Pistol. This is an exotic version of the Monarch pistol, and whenever you shoot any structure with the Lawless Breacher Pistol, that structure is instantly destroyed. Now, this is essentially just what the hand cannon or the deagle used to be back when it was first added. A pistol that is slow firing but can destroy walls instantly. And you know, ideally this would not be nerfed into the ground like the heisted breacher shotgun, which can't even destroy a fully built brick wall now, despite the whole gimmick being that it can destroy anything. I don't know why they decided to do that, but whatever. But yeah, I would hope that this would just stay as a instant break for any structure. Might be a bit busted considering I believe the hip fire rate on the Monarch pistol, I should say, is a bit fast, but maybe it doesn't have that like insane structure damage when you're hip firing. Maybe it only has it when you're ADSing, so maybe that could be a way to balance it. But you know, I think this would be a solid weapon. Next up, we have the Lawless Triple Auto Shotgun. This is an exotic version of the Frenzy Auto Shotgun, and when you fire the Lawless Triple Auto Shotgun, it will shoot in a burst of 3. Similar to the burst quad launcher, each burst will only take 1 shotgun shell. So basically, this is a burst auto shotgun that has a lot of leeway with it. If you don't know, the burst quad launcher shoots 8 rockets, but every 2 rockets only takes 1. So basically you're shooting bursts of 2 rockets and it only takes one rocket out of your magazine, basically. So this would basically be the same thing, but instead of having 2 shots and only take 1, it's 3 shots and only takes 1. So I feel like this would be a really spammable shotgun, and you know, it might be a bit busted, but the Frenzy Auto was already busted, so this just makes an already busted weapon more busted. So what can you really do? But yeah, there's not much to this weapon. It's just a burst version of the Frenzy Auto shotgun. Alright, next we have the Lawless Flowberry shotgun, and when you reload a shell in the Lawless Flowberry shotgun, you'll gain the Flowberry effect for a short period of time. This is an exotic version of the Havoc Pump shotgun, so you know, this would probably already be a good weapon to start off with, and having the Flowberry effect would definitely be nice. You know, you just shoot this once, reload a shell into it, and boom, now you got a little bit of extra mobility, you know? It's just a nice little bonus to an already solid weapon. I don't see this becoming like a game changer. I just see it being like a solid option, you know? If you get this or you find it on the ground, you know, you'll be happy, you will take it. But you're not going out of your way to get this Flowberry effect because it's just a bonus. It's not the main attraction of the weapon. But I think it would be pretty good, all things considered. Next, we have the Lawless Tracker Assault Rifle. This is an exotic version of the Tactical Assault Rifle, and when you hit an opponent with the Lawless Tracker Assault Rifle, your opponent will be marked for a short period of time. This is essentially the assault rifle version of the Shadow Tracker pistol. So basically, you shoot someone, they mark, or they get marked, I should say. Very simple, but a very effective weapon. If the Shadow Tracker is like a top tier pistol, this would probably be a top tier assault rifle. The TAC AR on its own is just an alright gun. You know, the fact that it takes light ammo instead of medium ammo is definitely a benefit, and the red dot sight definitely helps it a bit now. And I would imagine this would still have the red dot sight, so you know, I wouldn't have to worry about that too much. But I don't know how good it would be in like a loot pool like the current one, like the Chapter 6 Season 2 loot pool. I know like this is being uploaded like a day or 2 before the season ends, but you know, in a loot pool like Chapter 6 Season 2, this probably wouldn't be too crazy because all the other red dot weapons are just so much better. Even like the Veiled Precision SMG, I feel like is a bit better than the TAC AR. So I don't know how good this would actually be, but having the mark effect definitely helps it in my personal opinion, especially when you're using this at farther ranges because of the scope. Next, we have a very interesting weapon. We have the Lawless Poison Dart Shotgun. This is an exotic version of the Ranger shotgun, and when you damage an opponent with the Lawless Poison Dart Shotgun, your opponent will begin taking poison damage for a short period of time. So basically imagine this sort of like the poison dart trap. When someone gets hit with the poison darts from the poison dart trap, they begin taking tick damage for 10. Basically, that would be what this weapon does. I don't think it would do 10 damage per tick because this is a shotgun and you're already going to get like 100 damage-ish off of the first initial shot. So maybe it ticks like 3 times and you get like another 30 damage off of it that they can't do anything about. I feel like this would just be a solid twist on the Ranger shotgun. You know, it basically guarantees 30 damage every time you hit someone. Because, you know, sometimes you have some shots with shotguns that just kind of woof and only do like 30 damage anyways. So, you know, at least you're always getting alright damage with this weapon. And also, I feel like the range on the Ranger shotgun would be nice to have on a weapon like this. Because, you know, you shoot them and, you know, the poison dart trap, it is a bit more a ranged trap, but you have to be within 3 tiles of the trap. This has a lot more range than 3 tiles, so I feel like it'll be very solid. Alright, next we have the Lawless Dual Boom Hunters. This is an exotic version of the Dual Fiend Hunters. Very not good weapon, but when you fire the Lawless Dual Boom Hunters, it will shoot a mini boom bolt instead of a normal arrow. So basically, imagine the boom bolt, but dual wield. That's essentially what this weapon is. The explosion probably wouldn't be too strong, probably only do like 20-30 damage. You know, just having the ability to spam these, I just don't feel like the explosions should be too powerful, in my personal opinion. But I do think the explosions would help this weapon be a viable option, in my personal opinion. Alright, next we have the Lawless Flowberry Sniper Rifle, and this is an exotic version of the Bolt Action Sniper Rifle. And the gimmick to this one is very simple. While holding the Lawless Flowberry Sniper Rifle, you'll be granted the Flowberry effect indefinitely. Just a nice item for mobility, you know, and a good twist on the bolt, you know. Again, I don't think the Flowberry effect makes this a must carry. I just think it's a nice little bonus, you know. And obviously the bolt action is a solid sniper, so carrying this around would be nice. But yeah, just a very simple gimmick, you know, nothing too crazy with this weapon. Alright, we got a bit of a fun weapon here. We have the Lawless Boogie Bow. This is an exotic version of the mechanical bow, or you could just say any bow really, because it's just a bow with the boogie bomb effect. But yeah, when you fire a fully charged arrow from this bow, it will explode like a boogie bomb. Very simple gimmick here, but I feel like this is a weapon a lot of people have been like asking for a long time. I feel like whenever I see someone talk about like a new bow they like to see, like the top answer is probably always the boogie bomb bow, which, you know, kind of makes sense. It's an easy idea to come up with, you know, it's nothing crazy. So, you know, I think it would be an interesting addition. I don't know if this would be a really good idea because spammable boogie bomb's a bit powerful, so I don't know if this would be really a good idea, but who knows? Who knows? You do have to charge it up, so you can't just like throw it. So maybe it could be good. Who knows? Maybe it could be a nice balanced weapon. But I do feel like the balancing on this weapon is a bit hard, just because you basically have infinite of them, because, you know, you can just stock up on arrows, and you can carry like 13 arrows, which is more than double the amount of boogie bombs you can carry, so might be a bit of a problem, but who knows? Who really knows? Alright, next we have the Lawless Stormbolt. This is an exotic version of the Boom Bolt. I know, kind of crazy, like we have like 1,000 bows in this video. It's kind of weird. When you fire the Lawless Stormbolt, it will create a small storm flip for around 30 seconds. You know, nothing crazy, just a little mini storm flip, and yeah, I think it would be good, you know. I'd imagine that this would not have an explosion. I imagine you would just shoot it and the storm flip would pop out. The explosion will not happen. So basically, you tag them for a little bit of damage, the storm flip goes off, and now they're in the storm bubble, and that's where you get like, that's where the explosion damage would happen. Instead of getting it from the explosion, you would get it from the storm. I don't know if this would be better than the original Boom Bolt, I'm going to be honest, because people can just run away from the storm flip. So, might not be too crazy, but you know, maybe as a utility item, like if you're in storm, this would be a good way to, you know, survive storm for a little bit longer, you know? And maybe if like you're in like a late game and people are in their boxes, shoot this at their box and they like have not many places to go, I should say, because it's such a small circle. So, could be an interesting weapon in like those situations, but other than that, I don't see it being too crazy. And finally, to close it off, we have the Lawless Impulse Fire SMG. This is a very simple version of the Rapid Fire SMG, and when you hit an opponent with the Lawless Impulse Fire SMG, they will be knocked back a short distance. Essentially, this is basically like the dub, but impulse grenade instead of shockwave grenade effect, and you don't get knocked back with it, you know? A very simple weapon here, but could be fun. I don't know how effective it would be considering it's an SMG, and knocking back your opponents with an SMG, which is meant for close range, probably won't be the best option, but who knows? Maybe it'd be like the best weapon in loot pool, because, you know, the Rapid Fire SMG is pretty solid, in my personal opinion. It's probably one of the better SMGs in this game, but who knows? Who really knows how this weapon would actually play out? Could be good, could also be really bad because of this effect. So, who knows? Who knows? Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. Alright, that's about it. See you in the next one. Later.